gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost at Nail Decadence with another video. So this video I will be sculpting this beautiful yellow set that you can see on my hands right now, and I'm just going to go through the products that I'm using. I love this nail gem glue, it's awesome for putting your gems on, it's so versatile. Anyway, so these are products I'm using. I've got my yellow that I mixed myself, you know how it is. I'll put up in the cards a link to my video of how I make my own acrylic colours for you. I've got some of these LV stickers, which Louis Vuitton. I'm going to be using some of those. So first things first, we shall be sculpting. So I've got my wonderful SBD London forms. If you do not have these nail forms, why not? They are awesome. They are thick, they are strong, they are long, they are just awesome to work with. You'll see at the end, awesome C curve with these without even having to pinch. Like seriously, awesome. Love, 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 love these forms. They are still my favourite. I haven't found anything that beats them yet. No, nothing compares. So, anyway, what I'm doing is I'm applying a thin, clear base to work upon. I do this for a few reasons. Clear acrylic is the strongest acrylic because it's clear, it hasn't got anything else in it. Also, it protects the nail bed from staining, and also it gives you the opportunity to file back if you so wish to change your design without having to resculpt all over again. So file back to the clear layer and then you can do another design. So I do keep this base layer very, very thin, and as you can see I'm just making sure I've got all my sides properly sculpted out all the way. I'm going to fit another form on. I close the tabs at the front and pinch the front, and then I put it on the finger, and then you'll see how I get that to stick on, and then I check it just to make sure it's straight because we don't want wonky nails. Also, I angle my forms upwards because I have hooked nails, so that is to counteract that. Otherwise my nails slope downwards, that's what hooked nails do. So I tip my form up a little bit, that way it counteracts that. And I kind of get a bit of a hidden apex really. So you can see how it dips down just where my nail meets the form once my finger gets out of the way. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, but it's annoying having hooked nails, but you know, we can get around it, As they grow out they will start pointing downwards, but they're alright for about 4 weeks or so before they start looking really curving down. Get away with a one and fill or redesign as it were. I am really faffing. What am I doing? Obviously, I can't even see what I'm doing because it's clear acrylic. So I'm sorry if you couldn't see what I was doing either. But yeah, clear base, so it's clear acrylic, and I know it's really difficult to see, but I just thought I'd show you a few things. Not going to show you all of them because, you know, it's pretty much the same thing every time, but just so that you can see how I fit my forms, how I pinch them, etc. Just to give you an idea. So we'll get the clear base on this one. So I start at the free edge with a reasonable size bead. I make sure that joins my free edge totally. Make sure it comes out straight from my side walls, and I just keep patting and pushing and bringing the rest of the product down the form, patting and pressing and keeping it nice and thin, and using my brush as much as possible to keep those side walls nice and neat. And I'm going for sort of ballerina style shape of nails. That's why I've tapered the form in. If you were going for a square, I'd suggest leaving the tip of the form open somewhat. But yeah, with a nice ballerina style, you do need the form to taper in a little bit, which is why I pinched the tip. Going out to number 6 on these forms, so quite long, very long. For normal people, that's extremely long, but for me, I'm so used to it now. I didn't ever think I'd be able to wear this kind of length of nails, and I think the nails I'm wearing right now are actually longer, so just goes to show you get used to it. Anyway, so I've removed my forms because I've applied my base. I haven't filed it or anything like that. I've just removed the forms and moved on to the next step. Oh god, I totally forgot what I was saying there. So I'm using the nail bed colour, which I think was Flawless if I remember rightly. Might be wrong, might be totally wrong. I think it's Flawless. Anyway, doesn't matter. Using this nail bed colour just to, I don't like showing the natural nail underneath, so I'm doing this bead, even though I'm doing clear tips, I'm making sure I'm doing this bead along the middle of the nail because I'm doing a stripe down obviously, but I don't want to show the natural nail. That's why I've built right on the nail bed with the nail bed colour, and then once it's past my natural nail, then I'll go in with the clear. As you can see now, I'm sculpting it as much as I can with my brush to get that nice neat line straight down the centre of the nail. And once I've finished that, I will let it set. I'm trying to make sure I've got a decent wall because I'm going to file this in to get nice clean lines. So you could also cut it with a craft knife, but I decided to let it set and file them in instead. It's really effective, this stripe down the middle of the nail. It's really cool. Just building that wall up so that I've got enough to file into. As you can see, just bringing that bead down, stroking the sides, both sides, just to try and keep it as even as possible. That bit was a bit low, so just a little bit more of that nail bed colour. Stroke it, get it as neat as possible. Missed a bit on the free edge there, so tiny little bit. I'm working in really small beads because it's just easier for me that way. And it was really hot this day. I did these when the weather was really hot, so I didn't want to work with big beads and have it set up too quickly. Alright, once I'm happy with that, I'll move on to the next nail. So on the ring finger, I am doing a colour block, another colour block. So starting off with the nail bed colour, because like I said, I like to cover the natural nail. I don't want to see it. Don't like it. I'm just going from the cuticle area in a diagonal. I'm just trying to mask my natural nail. I'll just pattern press that into place. Try and make it as neat as possible. You can see it's setting up on me. It was a really warm day. That's why I didn't work with bigger beads on the middle finger. So yeah, just covering that corner, making sure you cannot see my natural nail anymore. Bring that out into a diagonal. Make sure I'm looking and building up my wall high enough so that I can file and then butt my next colour up to it. I'm trying to do as much work with the brush as I can, so I've got less filing. This was a time-consuming set for the colour blocking, that is. That's why I started off with the colour blocking to give them a chance to set up while I do other nails. So on the little finger I am using that yellow colour that I mixed myself. It's a really gorgeous bright yellow colour. I'm not usually one for wearing yellow, but I really liked this colour. I had these nails on for a while, I really liked them. So yeah, bead of the yellow what's the word? Bring it back. It's not bring it back. Brush it back. When you first put the bead on, make sure you brush it back to sort of graduate it out, thin it out, so that you don't have a harsh line, because this is an ombre nail, so I will be going with the nail bed colour over that. Moving on to the index finger, same again, place the bead, brush it back very gently, just bring, you know, the very end of the bead upwards towards the cuticle area, fade that out, and then bring the rest of that bead down the free edge of the nail right to the end. So I'm just making sure I'm not building any strength at this point. I'm just getting colour on. So this is thin. I know it might look like I'm putting loads on, but I'm not. This is really thin still. So again, just working that bead, blending it back in, and then bringing the rest of it down the nail. Trying to make it as neat as possible by brushing and swiping with my brush as much as possible, and dropped that bead on my hand. Don't get acrylic on your skin. I just wiped it off. It's not meant for skin. Keep it away from your skin as much as possible. Do not want to develop any allergies or contact dermatitis from overexposure. You don't want that. So, as you saw, I placed that bead, brushed it back, because it's another ombre nail, same again, and I just used my brush to wet the free edge of that nail to help the rest of the acrylic slide down, and then applied another bead, and again another bead. Brush it back, always blend it in straight away, and then bring the rest of the bead down to the end of the nail. Hope everyone's doing well. Life's a bit crazy. It's been crazy for this year. It's been crazy entirely. Hope you're all doing well. It's hard times, but you know, chin up. Just soldier on. That's all I can say. Soldier on. I'm trying to do that too, and it's been hard, but trying. Still here. Still here. Right, I seem to be adding even more. Must not have been as opaque as I'd wanted it. It's adding more. Once I'm happy with that, I will leave those alone and go back to the little finger, and this is where I will do my ombre. So, first bead goes just in front of where the yellow ends. Bring that bead, the front of the bead, down to get my ombre going, as you can see. So another bead, and you can see I'm just bringing the very front of every bead that I put down there, just bringing just the very front of it down. Now this yellow was really strong. It's a very bright yellow, so that's why I'm sort of adding small beads, because I want to get that blend really nice, and it will need quite a bit of building up of the colour to cover where it stops basically. We don't want to have a harsh line there, so you don't want to see where the yellow ends. You want it to blend the pink over the top. So I'm just making sure I haven't missed any bits that I had on the side, so as you can see they're tiny little beads. Just to make sure everything is covered, I haven't missed any bits. And onto the index finger, same again, the ombre, place the bead, bring the front, very front of the bead down, blend the back of the bead down a bit so it's not a big ridge, add another wet bead to the front to get my blend going even better. So if it looks like you've got a harsh line, if you add a wetter bead, you get a nicer blend, if you know what I mean, because If you drain the back of the bead, you'll get more intense of a colour, whereas if you don't drain the back of the bead, it will be a bit more wishy-washy. So that helps with ombreing, of course. Making sure I get that cuticle bead nice and neat. We don't want a messy cuticle area. Again, I'm just making sure I haven't missed any bits on the sides. Okay, happy with that. On to the thumb, and again, the ombre. So, just tapping my powders. I don't know if you noticed there, I was tapping my powders to get them nice and flat again, which helps with the pickup. So don't forget to tap your powders and make sure they level out from time to time. So those first two beads, getting my ombre going, and if I've missed any bits, see, I don't count my beads. Basically, I just go with the flow, and this is how I do it. And like I said, it was a really hot day, so I was working with really small beads, and most of the time I prefer to work with smaller beads anyway. I do have the odd occasion where I will just plonk on a huge bead and go with the flow, but majority of the time they are smaller beads. I'm just building, going back and back and back until I get to my cuticle area, and I'm just going to make that nice and neat now. It's starting to set up on me. I missed that bit on the corner, so get that cuticle area nice and neat and complete. There we go. So those ombres are done, so now I will cap them. So using the clear powder, and as you can see I placed that bead, then I dampened the tip of the nail with my brush and brought the rest of the bead down, and now I'm just building my strength and capping everything. Again, another bead, blend that in, third bead, get that in. Like I said, at this point I'm not counting. I'm counting now because I'm watching it back, but whilst doing it I certainly wasn't counting my beads. Yes, I could have capped that whole thing in just one bead if I had put a big one on, but like I said, it was a hot day, so the monomer was setting up quite quickly, and as usual I hadn't put it in an ice bath, so yeah, I was just winging it as usual. You know what I'm like, terrible for things like that. So this is where I'm thinking of the structure of the nail and making sure my apex is in place and that the free edge is thick enough but not too thick. So again, capping that, I seem to start in the middle of the nail. It's just where I'm comfortable. So I start in the middle of the nail, add my beads and blend in the back, bring down the front. Basically that's just rinse and repeat. Blend in the back, excuse me, bring down the front of the bead. And I'll keep checking from the sides, and I will make sure that the nail is thick enough and strong enough. I want to get that apex in the back third, but obviously the tip of the nail has to have a bit of strength too, so it can't be paper thin. We're going for sort of credit card thickness on the free edge. So now I'm filling in, because you can see obviously I've got that dip in the nail because my form was pointing upwards. I do need to make sure that I've got enough acrylic there so that I've got it coming straight out from the cuticle area to the free edge. I'm just filling those areas in so that my nail is strong and it won't break. So again, starting in the middle of the nail, blend the back of the bead and bring the rest of the bead down the free edge. Then add another bead nearer the free edge, again blend it back and bring the rest of it towards the very end of the nail. And like I said, go for your structure, make sure it's as thick as it needs to be, look at it from all different angles, make sure it's even. You don't want to add too much, but you don't want to add too little either. You want enough that you can file it into shape without having to file forever, if that makes sense. So I am trying with my brush to do as much as possible with making it as neat as possible, that is. So as you saw, added another bead nearer the cuticle area, and now I will have a look and add any more acrylic where it is needed. So there was a bit of a dip on the side of the nail there, so I filled that in, and by magic we are going to now file the, what's it called, the colour block nails. I totally forgot what they were called then. Anyway, yeah, filing the colour block nails. Now when you're filing, do remember to push against the wall that you are filing as opposed to down onto the nail. Try not to push down onto the nail itself as much as you can. It's quite awkward, but when you're doing it, you'll know what I mean. Don't push down, just push against the colour block that you are filing in to make it neat. So done that, get the dust off, and now I will go in with the bright, gorgeous yellow colour. I should have dampened the nail down first before I began, but as you saw, I just gave it a quick swipe as I was applying the yellow. Again, I'm keeping this yellow thin again because this is a design colour, it's not strength powder. I will need to cap this nail with clear acrylic, so I'm trying to keep that yellow as thin as possible but have it nice and opaque all the way through. So doing one side first, and then I will move to the other side of that colour block. Make sure the cuticle area is neat with this bead here. So that cuticle area, make sure it's nice and neat, but that colour up right up to the wall. Doesn't matter if it goes over a little bit because I will file it in again. Like I said, this was a bit of a time consuming set, but I really liked this set. I was really happy with it. So I hope you guys like it too, but yeah, I really enjoyed this set. So again, tiny teeny beads just to get my opaqueness there, and once I'm satisfied I will let that set up, and then I will file it in to reveal the lines that we made the effort to make. We want nice clean lines, that's why we go to the effort of filing in. So onto the colour block now, and I'm using the yellow to butt it up against the nail bed colour, the wall that we've made. And I'm doing a stripe of yellow diagonally again. I'm going to do that right to the end of the side of the nail. So yeah, like I said, diagonal. We're going in a diagonal. I'm using small beads again, like I said, hot day, acrylic was setting up quickly. I'm not going for strength, I'm just going for colour at this point, and it doesn't matter if it goes over on to the nail bed colour because I will file it in to reveal the nice sharp clean lines. But I am trying to do as much with my brush as possible. So let those set up. I've just grabbed a new file. I've just scored that file, and now I am filing in the colour block that was the stripe down the middle of the nail to reveal my clean lines. So I'm trying to make sure I get all the yellow off the clear that has, managed to get on the clear. We want to make sure that's all off, and we want to make sure we reveal some nice clean lines. So we'll file that in. Obviously this is sped up, and again I will file in this stripe of yellow because that's a wall, it's another wall, we're building walls. So again, push against the yellow, not down on the nail plate, and once I'm happy with that we will dust off again. I'm trying to get that nail, that line, diagonal line, as straight as possible. I'll just remove whatever yellow got onto the nail bed area. I'm whizzing away with my hand file. I could do this, you can do this with a e-file as well, of course. I just went for the hand file at this point. Just trying to neaten up the cuticle area a little bit and go along the wall. Make sure that I've revealed a nice straight line. You can see I'm filing the nail bed area just to reveal where the yellow meets it and make sure it's a nice neat line. Sometimes you have to file a bit more to make sure it's nice and a nice clean line. I'm saying line about a million times, I'm really sorry, but it is what it is. Anyway, I have removed the dust and now I'm going to apply these stickers, and I made a right boo-boo. As you can see, I'm putting the stickers on, but I haven't dampened the nail down, which means underneath the sticker will remain that dry looking, frosted looking clear, as opposed to properly clear. Ugh, I'm so annoyed with myself when I did this. So, stuck it all down, thought, yeah, looks great, and thought, right, yeah, it's on, wonderful, rub it on, make sure it's really stuck, get the next bit of sticker that I want to use, which is this smaller logos, or another stripe of the stickers. So I'm going to put those on next to the yellow diagonal colour block. Yeah, that looks good, let's do that. And then as I was sticking it on, I realised that it looked frosted underneath and it didn't look right, and I was like, oh no, I haven't wet the nail. Oh, I'm going to have to pull the other sticker off, but let's get this sticker on first. And these are stickers, so they do just stick straight on. Trim that, make sure it's just shorter, just shy of the free edge, because you want to be able to encapsulate it all the way around. So make sure you do cut it just slightly shorter than where it reaches the edge of the nail, so that it can be fully encapsulated. So as you can see, I am now having to remove this sticker from the middle nail, try and dampen it down so that it doesn't look like crap. Otherwise it wouldn't look clear, and it would have ruined it. So yeah, learn from my mistake there. Always dampen the nail down first if you want it to remain nice and clear underneath the sticker. So I'm going to faff around, pull this sticker off. Oh, it was such a faff because I'd rubbed it on so hard. It really stuck on. So yeah, remove that. Start with the new sticker, because I was just like, oh, I can't faff around with these little bits and pieces. Just grab another one. Get that stuck on now that it has been dampened down with a bit of monomer. Oh, and this one doesn't want to play ball. They're so fiddly. Look at this. I do get there eventually, promise. Like, come on, just get on there. So I'm going to encapsulate these stickers in acrylic as well, so the nail still has no strength, it's not built up yet. But trim that off, make sure it's just a little bit shorter than the free edge, and a little bit shorter than the cuticle area, so that I can encapsulate, which is what I'm going to do now, finally, that I've finished faffing with those stickers. So yes, I'm going to cap them. So at first bead I put over the sticker in the free edge just to build it up a little bit. Second bead in just behind that in the middle of the nail, bring that down because I am capping everything now, building my strength, etc. And another bead, lay out the back and bring the rest of the bead down the free edge to the end of the nail as far as it will go, and add as much as I need to have a nice strong nail with a good apex and a decent thickness at the free edge. And once I have capped those, I am going to file off camera. I I haven't included the filing of the nails in this one because this video is a long one with the designing. So yeah, I've left out the filing in of the nails. I've got other videos on my channel where I've included filing, so if you wanted to know my filing routines, check out my other videos. I have playlists as well on my channel, so you know, just head on over and take a little look. Feel free. So just checking this now for all angles and making sure it is fully capped and there are no dips in the acrylic. And making sure it is thick enough but not too thick, of course. I am going to cap the middle finger as well. As you can see, it's a lot thinner than the other nails, so that needs capping. So dampen it down with a damp monomer brush. And then add the first bead again in the middle of the nail. That's where I start. I don't know why, it's just the way I do it. Start in the middle. Most people start at the cuticle or the free edge. Me, no, I start in the middle. And now I'm adding the cuticle bead to encapsulate that sticker all the way down, and also add my strength with my apex. And we do want to make sure we've got a nice neat cuticle area, but I also want to make sure I have enough acrylic over that sticker so that I do not file into it, because that would be really awful if I did that. I wouldn't be happy. And then I am making sure that the free edge is as thick as it needs to be. Adding my acrylic, and that's also because of the way I angle the forms upwards because of my hook nails. I do have a bit of a hidden apex, so my nails don't need to be as thick as they might have been had I not had the hidden apex, if that makes sense. So yes, I will finish applying this acrylic, and then by magic it will be all filed in a second. Watch. Just wait and see, 2 seconds, and look, we'll be finished and filed. I wish it worked that way. Just make sure all the acrylic's on as much as possible that is needed, and then look, magic! It's filed, I've shaped, I have removed the dust, and now I'm using my diamond gel pen from SPD London, and I'm going to apply some lovely crystals. So I'm using just basic clear crystals for this. I'm not using AB. I didn't think AB would match, so I'm going with just a line of clear. I left a gap between the sticker and the yellow so that I could put the crystals like this down, so it's kind of like a line of crystals, like just the same as like I did the lines of colour blocking. So yeah, there is a gap between the stickers and the yellow there, so I will flash cure those to keep them in place so that they don't slip or slide around. And I'm sorry, I thought the camera was rolling and it wasn't, and as you can see I put 3 crystals by the cuticle areas of the little finger, the ring finger and the index finger and the thumb. Sorry, I thought it was recording and it wasn't, but yeah, it was only 3 crystals. So I used a yellow one in the middle and then 2 clear ones on the other side, and I decided to, instead of put crystals at the cuticle area on the index finger, I thought I'd put them on the end because it kind of looks like a bit of a bracelet. So yeah, that's what I'm doing on here. I've got a yellow one in the middle and then 2 either side, and I'm just making sure that they are nice and straight and in place, and then I will flash cure those in place so that they don't move. And now I will top coat with my SPD London tempering top coat, which is a really hard wearing, shiny, super shiny top coat, and I love it. It's medium viscosity, so it's not too thick but it's not too runny either. It's really nice to apply. I've been using it for a long time now and very happy with it. So check out SPD London. There are always details in the description box for everything kind of thing for like work, you know, shops recommendations, and obviously SBD London and Hand Dolly and stuff like that. So, and I have a discount code, it's in the description box for Hand Dolly, so check that out. And yeah, I will leave you now because, you know, I'm just top coating, and there's a bit of footage at the end and some photos. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you ever so much for visiting my channel and sitting with me whilst I did my nails, as it were. Yeah, so that's all I've got for today, peeps. So you take care now, and oh no, can you subscribe, like, share, all of that stuff, leave a comment. I totally forgot I was supposed to say those things. YouTubers say it because it actually means something, so please help me out, you know, hit the like button, leave a comment, share, all that stuff, because that's what helps the videos get seen by other people. That's what helps it get recommended, so please do that if you wouldn't mind. So yeah, anyway, that's all I've got for now, peeps. So you take care, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
Stunning now. They don't see the bigger picture, we be cutting now. All I'm saying is the man that I'm becoming. He gon' take the new edition and they twist it like a plumber now. Yeah, I'm out here watching all these bony ones. Yeah, and they be thinking about my